Hey, everybody. College is closed tomorrow. We knew this could happen. I'm going to keep this very brief, but I'm basically going to give you the same rundown that I would give you in class so that you know what you need to be doing for this week. So, you had some short stories that you needed to read for tomorrow. I'm recording this on Monday so that you get it in plenty of time. So, this shouldn't come as any surprise because I warned you in class last time. Make sure you've read those. These you need to read before doing Sunday's discussion board assignment. So, what you've got for this week. Okay. I was going to give you guys a reading quiz in class, like a paper pen quiz, and I'm essentially giving you that exact same reading quiz. It'll open up, let's say 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we'll close out by midnight. And once you go in to take it, get one attempt, it's 20 minutes. That should be plenty of time. It's like 10 questions. You don't even have to write in complete sentences. They're not super like in-depth analytical. It's just plot-based questions. Like, what does this character do for a job? Like that kind of thing. And you can just put blank. You don't even have to write incomplete sentences for some of them. Okay. So, I have to put a time limit on it though. And then the other thing that I was going to do in class tomorrow, besides going over all this, what you're going to be doing for the week, is I was going to go over the concepts of plot and character and all of the terms you need to know for that. So remember, you've got that lit terms test list. Go ahead and bust that out, and you can be filling in definitions as you go through these lectures. Okay. I'm going to warn you, I made this video, like 7 years ago. So the quality is crap-ola, and I'm sorry, and I wish I had time to, that's why I wanted to do it in person. Plus, it's where we start with lit terms anyway, because it's embarrassingly bad, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just brace yourself and do your best. It's also a little longer than I would normally like to do, but it's what we talk about in class. It's the same lecture slides. It's just me talking over it. And I also would have tried to get some of this in as well, but you've also got that same lecture I'd be showing you. This is going to be really important for the Flipgrid and the discussion board that you have. You're going to start actually bringing like quotes from the literature in, doing literary analysis, all that kind of stuff. So this is like the nuts and bolts, the particulars, like using quotation marks correctly, citing correctly, leading up to your quote with introduction, citing it, and then explaining it, the ICE method. Okay. Very important. I show you examples, all that fun stuff. So you can pause the video. You can go back and look at anything you need to so that you make sure you're doing everything correctly, because that is part of the grade. Okay. It's not the most exciting and fun and engaging way for you guys to get this material, but this is a quickie little lecture. This one looks a lot better than the others because I had a student who actually, she fixed it for me. That was her service hours for the honors program. She fixed videos for me, made them better looking. So if you need service hours, you'll see I've got other videos and you're good at this kind of stuff. I've got other videos that I made that are not that great. You can do, neat stuff with them too. And you can get service hours that way. So don't everybody clamor to do that at once. But if you're good at that kind of stuff, hit me up. All right. I'm not even joking. This one is about point of view. So this one covers all things setting terms. It's really quick because setting's it's not unimportant. It's just, there's not that many terms. Point of view though, it talks about like what point of view is, narrator, the different types of point of view. That's something you're going to be tested on as well. First versus third, and then the different levels of third person, omniscient, limited omniscient, all that kind of stuff. So that's your lecture on that. So do you need to do all that stuff before tomorrow? No, absolutely not. This is just like a throughout the week kind of thing. So just pace yourself and take your time with it. I hate to slam you with so much video content, including this, but it's just, we just can't get behind. So we'll refresh on some of these things before the test, of course, and you'll get a chance to apply your knowledge. So I'll make this available to you tomorrow. You'll have until the end of the day. Okay, Flipgrid, major Flipgrid assignment number 1. So you click on the link, little link here. You shouldn't have to log in again because you've already done it before. But if you do, it'll be the same login that you used to do the Meet Me. Okay, so you're going to pick one of these questions. You're going to answer it in your video response. You like my artwork here? I didn't make it. I collect weird artwork. So if you find any in your daily life you want to send it to me. Okay, pick one of the questions. Why do you feel like Sammy quit his job at the A&P? Did his actions make sense? Is Sammy a sympathetic protagonist? Why or why not? In Is Mama an everyday use of sympathetic protagonist? Why or why not? So you're probably going to want to watch the plot and character overview for this, because I talk about protagonist, and when we say sympathetic, we don't mean necessarily that they're sympathetic to others, though that could be part of it. When we say sympathetic, we mean are we supposed to sympathize with them and like them and support them and all that kind of stuff. So do you think Sammy's sympathetic? Why or why not? Or do you think Mama is? Why or why not? I used to be very team Mama. And then now that I've become a mother, I have some issues. I have some serious issues with the way that she handles conflict. It's I've got issues with it, but you may see it totally differently. I mean, Dee is no saint either, but I mean, who's the parent here? You know? Okay, so why did Mama, not to sway you, but like that's how my thoughts have differed over time. Why do you think Mama chose to give the quilts to Maggie? Did her actions make sense in that situation? Why or why not? So you've got 4 questions to pick from. Pick one, answer it in your video response, and just like you would, and like these shouldn't be super long, but like just like you would in kind of an essay, so to speak, video essay, you need a thesis. Otherwise, these can get really off the rails. I would strongly suggest having a script for this as well. But so your thesis should directly answer the question posed by the prompt that you picked, and you want to narrow your focus. So it's better to say a lot about a little than a little about a lot. So just be super direct. Sammy is not a sympathetic protagonist because he's blank. And you just talk about that one negative aspect of his personality and give some specific examples that you encountered and talk about those. You don't need to talk about everything. You can't talk about everything. And that's boring because a lot of people are going to pick the same prompt. And if we can have some variety, that makes it more interesting. So you need to have specific examples in the form of direct quotes from the story to support your analysis and interpretation. So especially since you're doing this out loud, leading up to your quotes with context is really, really important. Otherwise, it can be super confusing. And then when I say cite, just say, you can just say like on page whatever, right, in the book. Or I believe the PDF of Everyday Use has page numbers as well. So just remember, introduction, it's not enough to just say Alice Walker writes, blah, 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 because like we know that. We've got that already. That doesn't really tell us anything we didn't already know. So instead, I talk about this in the incorporating quotes video a lot. So watch that. Stay in third person. You don't need to say like, I don't think Sammy is this, or I think Sammy is actually a totally normal, representation of a totally normal 19-year-old, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to put in my opinion in there at any point, any of that. So if you do that, just go through and cross those out of your script and then just say it like it's a fact, because that's how we talk in academic writing. We just go around talking about our opinions like they are facts. And it works great for us and we like it that way. So again, have a script for this because otherwise it can go off the rails pretty quickly. And you need to comment on at least 2 other people's posts with some substantial replies. How long does this have to be? Aim for 3 minutes. Okay, so give yourself enough to talk for 3 minutes. I know it sounds like a long time, but if you give yourself a lot of points to cover, again, better say a lot about a little than a little about a lot. But, have some extra examples waiting in case you're like, oh man, I'm only at a minute and a half. Like, have a couple of bonus examples that you could talk about a little bit. Always prepare hope for the best and plan for the worst, right? So, but the longest, it'll cut you off at 5 minutes. So again, good reason to have a script so that you cover everything that you need to. Okay. So I really look forward to seeing what y'all do with that. Boom, boom, boom. And then discussion board number 2. This is going to be more about the lit theory. So you got those Tyson readings and you need to bring one of them into this discussion board, quote it, talk about it. The one that covers the theory that you picked. So you're going to analyze one of the short stories we've read thus far, A and P, Everyday Use, A Good Man is Hard to Find, or Rose for Emily. You're going to apply one of the following lit theories, either psychoanalytic. So I've got a whole bonus video about that too. Cover some additional terms that the chapter reading does not have. Marxist or LGBT. So how you narrow your focus is entirely up to you. You can pick one specific aspect of the selected theory to discuss, such as repression or commodification. That's a Marxist. So repression is psychoanalytic. Commodification has to do with Marxist theory. Heteronormativity has to do with LGBT. So those are like very specific facets of larger theories. Or if you want to explore multiple concepts found within the larger theoretical framework, you can do that. But as always, better say a lot about a little than a little about a lot. So the guidelines are, you need to have at least one direct quote from your selected story that, either A&P, everyday use, again, it's hard to find, or Rose Family, and at least one direct quote from the assigned nonfiction readings. That's the Tyson chapters. Obviously, you're going to want to pick the one that relates to your theory, and make sure you quote, you cite your quotes in text and have corresponding works cited entries. So I do go over how to cite in text in the incorporating quotes video. So for works cited entries, we were going to go over this in class too. I'm going to make a separate quick video to show you guys how to do that. Okay, so because this is getting too long and I'm not prepared, so I will have that for you. It'll be like 2 minutes, and I will show you exactly what to do. Okay, so you've got your marching orders. I'm really sorry we don't get to see each other tomorrow. There's no word requirement for the discussion. Just say as much as you need to get the job done. Some people need to be more expansive than others. There is a rubric for how I'm going to grade this, and a rubric for how I'm going to grade the Flipgrid as well. So content, points for that, organization and clarity, citing your sources correctly using MLA citation, and your responses to your peers. The Flipgrid one is very similar. It's just fewer points because the assignment's not worth quite as much, because it's a little bit easier to talk than it. And there's no grammar. There's no grammar for Flipgrid because I obviously can't see your script or any of that, and I don't want to. So I will have that separate quick video on works cited entry format for you so that you feel comfortable citing the Tyson and citing your short story that you pick, whether it's from the textbook or if you do the online PDF everyday use version, you can do that too. So this is getting longer than I wanted it to be. Sorry that I don't get to see you guys tomorrow. It's a real bummer because this is a second class is always a good class. So, oh well, we're going to make do, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. If you have any questions or you want me to look at anything, or you're like, whatever, you need feedback, you want to show me something before you officially post it or put it up, or just like, hey, am I going in the right direction? I am 100% here for that. So feel free to email me or send me something in messages. Okay, everybody. Enjoy the snow. Be safe. See you later.